Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we'll see how to create a bottle lamp out of this empty ketchup bottle. So let's start. For beginners, I would recommend using glass marking pencils to draw the sketch on your bottle. You can easily wipe off these lines using a cloth. I'm not using any primer today. Instead, I'm using a chalk paint as the base. You can use white gesso as an alternative. For bottle lamps, I always prefer to use a white base before applying the paint. This helps in masking the color in one side being seen from its opposite side. Also, if you add multiple layers of paint, it will hide the brush strokes being visible once you light up the lamp. I'm using acrylic colors today for designing. You can also use chalk paints if the color shades are available. We'll start with flowers. If you're working with a canvas or a wooden base, you can skip these steps. You may find it unnecessary. But if it is a glass base, I would recommend following these steps. I used to get a lot of queries asking what kind of primer can be used, how to avoid the brush strokes while using acrylic paint, and how to avoid the stickiness once the paint is dry. So all your answers are here in the video, so don't skip the steps. As I mentioned before, I'm adding multiple layers of paint to hide the brush strokes once you light up the lamp. So this is the second layer of acrylic paint which I'm applying on my flowers. The same thing you have to follow for the leaf, stem and other details as well. For leaves, I'm using two shades of green. Let the second layer dry properly before doing the details. For detailing the petals, I'm using a mix of yellow and white. Repeat the same process for the rest of the flowers. Now for the center portion, I'm using a shade of brown. Take a little amount of paint and gently dab the brush as shown in the video. For the stem and leaves, I am going to apply one more coat of paint so that I could hide the brush strokes. Let's add some more details to the petals. I am using a thin brush for detailing. Make sure you're taking only small quantity of paint on your brush tips while you do the details. This will help you draw fine lines using thin brushes. Let's add a little bit of shading for the center portion. For that, I'm using a mix of yellow and brown. So towards the center, I'm applying a little bit of yellow, and towards the outer edge, I'm adding more brown shade. Use the same dabbing technique so that you can blend the colors. As you know, the sunflower plants doesn't have a smooth edge for the leaves. So I'm using this flat brush to get that serrated look. And finally, let's add some vines on the leaves. For that, I'm using a thin brush and a lighter shade of green which I have. Now we'll add some fine dots on the empty area. This will elevate the look of your bottle. This step is to seal the paint and also make it non-sticky. So you can use any kind of good quality acrylic varnish. I'm using a spray acrylic varnish this time. Let's finish the look by adding this square thread. Here is the final look. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. For any queries, do post them in the comment section.